Alright guys, Tactical Bit here today, and day 2 of CWL Las Vegas was an absolutely crazy one. Only 12 teams remain, and a lot of them are not what you will be predicting. After I said a couple of days ago that the open bracket teams tend to just get stomped by the pro teams, I thought that would be even more the case in a 5v5 setting, but apparently not. And we had some fantastic results, especially from a European standpoint, and 4 European teams remain in the top 12. Maybe not the best in terms of shaping up in the actual bracket, but we'll go through that in today's video. So like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new or if you haven't already, all that good stuff as always, and let's get right into it. So this is a quick look at the teams that didn't make it to Championship Sunday. One thing to note, we'll go through these in a second, but one thing to note is that the top 32 at this tournament qualify for January's Pro League play-in tournament. So all these teams in the top 32 here, they will go to some tournament. I'm not sure exactly how it's being organised yet, like what the structure is, whether there's groups or anything like that. And then the top 12 from that tournament then go into the Pro League to join the top 4 from this event. The top 4 from this event guarantee a slot in pool play, or in the Pro League, sorry. So it's a very interesting scenario, and we'll have to see when we go through the actual bracket here. So scrolling down to what went on yesterday, an absolutely unbelievable turn of events. We had the winners bracket with Team Sween getting out into pools. Heretics made it out as well. This Mazer team, which is Teddy Rex, and XLG, which is like Fastballers team. So they made it into pools. They slotted in as follows. Let's just go through the pools in order because incredible turn of events. Team Sween. These are the guys of Nolson, Quicker, Dylan, Brain, and Wee Man. That's the team. And I just want to have a quick look back at the Call of Duty World League Championship from this year. Team Sween at the time was just Quicker and Wee Man of the current squad, joined by Moose and Petey, I believe. And they managed to come out into this pool, beat eUnited, and take down Splice in kind of, not comfortable, but it was a close series. This time they don't get the better of eUnited, but they came out and just smacked Mindfreak off the map in the first series. And I'm going to title this video like Unknown Gods or something like that, and a lot of people will have heard of these players. Maybe someone like Dylan you won't have done, but Quicker, Brain and Nolson were on the Hyper Games team from Black Ops 3 that were considered crazy onliners. These guys are absolute grinders. They put the time into the game. Their teamwork is incredible, and it's really showing here. And their control strats are just phenomenal work. Like Kenny saying 100 Thieves the best control team in the game. Like, mate, have you not seen Heretics and Team Sween? The kind of strategies these guys are pulling out, especially on frequency. Really cool to watch, and they wiped the floor with these guys. Absolutely incredible. Considering I said yesterday that Lightning Pandas were the best hope from Europe going into the winners bracket, like, god damn. Sweden don't even care. They just come out swinging from open. The best result ever from an open bracket team is FaZe at Dallas last year, the first event. So maybe you put a few question marks behind this, given it's the first event, which I think is fair enough. Like, you know, they're now top 6, as we'll go on to discuss in the tournament. I think that's a bit of an optimistic expectation for them to be a top 6 team in the world come a couple of months down the line. But, you know, then again, FaZe came top 4 at Dallas. They were very strong. They won an event later in the year. So what can we really say? These could be the new team caliber. You don't know. They lose to eUnited, relatively close series. They took the first hard point, then they kind of struggled from then on. 3-0'd 100 Thieves. This was phenomenal. This is probably one of the last series I watched before I went to bed. Like, I was expecting them to really struggle. When they went to Pool A, I was like, damn, you know, Sween and Reciprocity, eUnited 100 Thieves, like eUnited 100T, really strong squads it seemed. And damn, it's going to be really tough for us to get any guys into winners bracket apart from Lightning Pandas. But they didn't even care, man. They just absolutely smacked them around. It wasn't even close. Like, teamwork is over talent, I guess. Then again, you can't even fault the talent on this team. When I was in Zed's stream the other day, I asked him who was the next like up-and-coming star of European Call of Duty, and he said Dylan Cod without a question. He is going off. Let's have a look through the stats right here. So we'll touch on these later on, but after 12 maps, Nolson is at a 1.39. Absolute monster. Scroll down a little bit, Dylan, the SMG, is at a 1.25. Like, Dylan, Alex, Lacefield and Scump are really like the top tier SMGs we see right now. And, you know, oh my god, man, it's absolutely gorgeous to see. I want to show you this clip as well. Someone commented on yesterday's video saying maybe I should show a couple more clips when I'm going through these videos. So anyway, this is from the control between Sween and 100 Thieves, and they get control and bang, 5-man lightning strike from Dylan, and then they went on to win this round kind of comfortably and the game. Still a couple of questions that I have with control. I did tweet yesterday that, like, damn, like, control's really cool to see all these strategies that these guys are pulling out when, like, they'll go one way and then they'll maybe split a little bit. Really cool thing that Sween did right here at the start of this series in the first round was that Nolson and one of his teammates, I'll just go back to the stats here for a second so you can have a look through them. But Nolson and Quicker, I believe they waited like 10 seconds outside of A, so that 100 Thieves would push up, they'd look at A, they wouldn't see anyone, and then they all rotated to B, and then the guys just run into A and got a couple of ticks on. Super cool strategies. I do think control's a bit too snowball heavy, where like when one team starts winning, they start winning a lot more, but you know, still fantastic. So obviously I spent a lot of time on this pool with Team Sween just because it's just such a good story. It's the story of the day, in my opinion. And they're now top 6, as we will then go into see onto winners bracket. Like, these weren't even close series, man. 100 Thieves meant to be a top 3 team in the game. Battered them in Search. These guys have never been in the Pro League since, like, the Infinite Warfare and World War II seasons. Black Ops 3 they were in, as I said, under Hyper Games, but that was different considering it was region-based. Never been in a global Pro League. And this is a fantastic chance for them. If they can get top 4, they're guaranteed. They don't even have an organisation, man. This may be the highest ever placing for a team without an organisation. I'll have to double check that, but still really cool. The story of the day for me. Let's go on a little bit further. We had Heretics going to Pool B, and yeah, they did a solid work. You know, they came through open bracket. They did really well in open. They showed a lot of promise, actually. Against Luminosity, I believe they took a hard point off them or so. Like, 6 maps won against these teams is not a mean feat at all. And the most crazy series was when they just 3-0'd EG out of nowhere. Like, it didn't really make any sense, I'm not gonna lie. After day 1, I was thinking, damn, EG, man, they beat LG, they beat Red. Like, maybe I'm really underestimating these guys. But I think my expectations were about right. I think it was a bit of a fluky day 1, in all honesty. Exotic and Goonjar were doing really, really well. And, yeah, they get 3-0'd by Heretics. It's just a mental series. The only series that Heretics won. Okay, EG still went on to the winners bracket, but things didn't pan out too well for them there either. So I think maybe this is a regression to the mean thing. Sometimes you have a really good day, and then later on, maybe you go back to where you really should be. But Heretics are a cool team to see. They end up finishing top 20 in this tournament. Hopefully they can make it into the Pro League. That would be fantastic to see. Some Spanish representation. So going on to Pool C here, we have Mesa Gaming. This is Teddy Rex's team, and they put up a really good fight, actually. Teddy was dominating fools. I was quite impressed. They beat Envy, man. It's so tragic. Envy managed to lose 3-2 to Mesa. I don't know if this was a reverse sweep or whether in the game 5, like, Envy should have won. It was really, they were up like 5-4 or something like that, and they ended up like throwing it away. Just tragic for Envy. How do you even lose that? Lightning Pandas had a really close series with them as well, but Straight Clan, Base Clan and Straight Rippin dealt with Mesa really efficiently. And yeah, this is kind of what you expect. Maybe they win one upset series. I was kind of impressed overall at how well the open bracket teams did. They were winning series off the pro teams, which quite often you don't see. But of course, as I said before, this will be the last tournament to feature this kind of system. In future, the 4 pools will just be made up by the 16 Pro League teams, and the open bracket squads will fight through their own bracket. So this won't be a possibility in future events, which maybe is fine, because as things go further down the line, it's more likely that these pools will just be stomps for the open bracket teams, because you know pro teams know how to play the game a little bit better, and a little bit of randomness in the first event of the year there always is. So anyway, going on to Pool D, Accelerate. This is BZ Fastballers team, like Profeezy, those guys. And again, they did well. They managed to take a series off G2, just 3-0'd them outright. Still didn't go any further than that. G2 really not looking good at all. I did say before the tournament I thought G2 were maybe slightly better than EG, but apart from that, not too much to say on them. And yeah, it's not looking good for G2 in either of the esports I follow them in CSGO and Call of Duty. Let's move on to the winners bracket. eUnited take down Straight Rippin 3-1. Kind of comfortable in that, and then they move on to play OpTic Gaming, who 3-0'd Luminosity. It was kind of close in the hardpoint and the control, I believe. Hardpoint was like 250, 200. Control was like 3-2. The S&D was a 6-0. Like, let's have a look at the S&D stats right here for OpTic Gaming's guys, because Dashi and TJ Ali both have a 2.6 and a 2.1 respectively over 5 maps. Like, it's quite incredible, and I believe I saw a stat from JP. Yeah, here it is. Dashi has gone positive in every single map he has played so far, which is really unprecedented. And it just shows how scary this team is right now. I honestly think eUnited are going to be their closest competitor. I think this is going to be a really intriguing series. So if you look at the stats as well, let's go back to Respawn for a second. Look at Arcites, man. 1.6 over 14 Respawn maps. Absolute monster. So I think eUnited are going to be their closest competitor. I think this is going to be a very interesting series. EU have had a tendency to come out slow in these hardpoint starts. I believe they lost another first hardpoint here to Straight. And if OG can win the first hardpoint, their S&D is looking on fire. It's going to be very difficult for eUnited to beat them. So I think EU need the first hardpoint for sure in this series. And we'll see how it goes from there. Sween reverse swept Lightning Pandas. What's most impressive about this Sween run, actually, is just how many series they played. Like, if you go up to the open bracket situation here, like, this was the start of the day. They played Vertex, some Australian team. They beat Revenge. Then they go straight into pools, play 4 back-to-back best-of-5s against really tough competitors. Then they go straight into the winners bracket to play the Lightning Pandas, and then they beat them as well. It was a reverse sweep. LP were up 2-0. My LP jersey just wasn't enough power on the day. And yeah, Sween come out on top 3-2 in the end. Just an unbelievable story. Bit of a shame that the 2 European teams in winners had to match up against each other. Would have been cool to see them against another squad. But hey ho, they're going to be playing Splice in the semi-finals, who 3-0'd Evil Geniuses. And whoever wins this, whoever wins both of these series, gets to top 3, which is guaranteed Pro League qualification. So if Sween managed to beat Splice somehow, they'll be in the Pro League without an organisation. Like, how crazy would that be? Anyway, let's have a look at the losers. So Envy obviously had a tough run. They do manage to win 9-1 map count here against Tatum Mines, XLG and UYU. So they have kept their run alive to some extent. They're playing Lightning Pandas to make it to top 8, I believe. So these teams are all top 12 confirmed. So yeah, Heretics, they ended up losing to Reciprocity, who reverse swept FaZe to knock FaZe out at top 16. And they're going to be playing EG to make it through to top 8. You know, some of these teams will make it. Like, one of these teams will make it all the way to top 4, I think, which will be guaranteed Pro League qualification. So we'll have to see who it's going to be. G2, they ended up losing to 100 Thieves, who are now playing Luminosity, which is a really spicy series in the losers bracket. I believe it's starting earlier at like 10 AM today, 10 AM Pacific time, of course. I'm uploading this at about like 7 AM Pacific time or something like that. So maybe 3 hours time from when this is uploaded, then the series will begin. So that's a little bit better for fans all around the world, I think. Maybe not Australia, but I don't know about too much about that one. So Red ended up having a decent run as well. They beat Mindfreak, they beat the Pittsburgh Knights. So Parasite's team out of it at top 16. And then Red are going to be playing straight rip-in to see who can get through to the top 8 here. So let's have a look at the final placements. The top 32 teams that are going to be in the qualification, potential qualification for the Pro League. So we have Enigma 6 is here, Giants is here. 3 Spanish teams actually, because Heretics, Movistar and Giants all in the top 3, which is really cool to see. Overtime, which is a French squad. The Imperial made it as well. And yeah, all these teams, FaZe and G2 having surprisingly poor results, I guess, or especially FaZe. We did put them at 9th in our power rankings, and yeah, they didn't perform up to standard. Mindfreak honestly showed some promise, but couldn't get past top 20. So anyway, that's all I want to say about today. Championship Sunday starts later today. Hopefully you're looking forward to it as much as I am. And this time tomorrow I will have the breakdown video of who ended up winning and how everything played out after hopefully a crazy Championship Sunday from a viewer perspective as well. So thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.